Well, for the next object, I think I'd like to work on this piece right here, that chain cover. I've got a few reference images over here in these windows. I've got images 3613 and 3602. But I think I'd like to work on this because it really seems like it's just going to be an extension of the way we created the speedometer. I think I'd like to just create two circles, one here and one here, extrude them out, and then connect them up with bridge edge loops or create face or something like that. So I think it's really just kind of a very similar process to what we just did. So let's work on that. But before we do, actually, let's clean up the outliner. It's kind of a mess over here. And instead of trying to pull these down, what I'm going to do is just come up to the top and right-click and choose Duplicate Area into New Window. And that will just allow us to create a new window of just the outliner here. And we'll be able to maybe do a little bit of organizing in a more efficient way here. So we've got our unnamed objects here. Let's just go through and see what we have. So this is part of the speedometer. And so is this, which I think we could just call part of the gas tank. Well, let's do that. Let's select these three, and then let's hover over this and press M and create a new collection, and we'll just call this gas tank. Just so we'll put these things in there. And then let's see what these are. That's part of the handlebars. Let's drag that up. So just go through and begin organizing your objects into collections. As I've said, I'm not going to be naming the objects at this point in time, just putting them in collections. And for these, this looks like, well, this is part of the gas tank here. What about these up here? We could say that's part of the headlight. Let's do that. And this, once again, down here. That could be part of the horn, right? Let's do that. Headlight. This down here. So I think these in here, I'm not sure what we call these. I guess I may just call it the front fork. So let's do that. I'll hover over this, press the M key, go to New Collection, and we'll call this front fork, like that. And then we could actually put this bracket. Let me just select objects here. We could actually put that bracket in there as well, like this, and maybe even the coils in that. So we can put collections inside of collections to keep things organized. All right, so now that we've got that, I'll just close this. We have that now over here. And so to begin on this piece right down here, let's create a circle. I'll just press Shift-A, Mesh Circle, and I'll keep it at 32 vertices. And I do not want any fills, so I'll keep that at nothing. And let's turn this around the y-axis, RY90. Here we go. Let's scale it down. And I'll hit G and move it over here. And we'll try and get this in place like this maybe. I'll press Shift-Z to go to wireframe. We'll probably need to pull this out some, so it's hard to know. If we hit the 1 key, we can see maybe that piece here, but this is such an odd angle. It's really hard to get a sense of what's behind here since we've got a lot of perspective in this particular photo, but I could move this back maybe right about here. We could also create this circle while we're here. I'm going to tab into edit mode and I'll press Shift-D, Y and move it over here. Something like this, and then scale down to get this one right here. All right, so now we have those two. From here, let's begin extruding out. So I think I'll just select one of these first, like this one. And let's begin extruding this out in, well, I'll change back to global here in the x-axis, the global x-axis. So I feel like we're back here, and I feel like there's just a little bit of a ridge there. So let's get that. Let's press EX and pull out just a little bit, and then ES and scale in. And then Let's pull out quite a bit, EX, pull out to maybe right about here, let's say. Then we can begin going in for these. I'll press ES and go into about right here when there appears to be a little bit more of a lip here. So let's get that, EX, and pull out. And then we go in a bit. And is there a ridge right there? Maybe there is. Let's see. I'll press ES and scale in. And then if we get that little ridge there, let's press EX out just a little bit, ES, scale in just a bit. And then let's get this part here, E and X, and bring that out like this. ES, and we'll scale in, and then I'll just press the M key and choose to merge all of those at the center. So that's just a basic outline of this. Let's do the same thing over on the other one here. Let's just hover over this and press the L key here, and then let's come out here. So it just is an extrusion, I think, out like this, and then ES, and then M, and merge at center. So there we've got the basic shape there. Now, I feel like we should expand out just a little bit for the rim. So what we could do here is select these two. And what I want to do is extrude and scale them out individually. Currently, if I did that, they'd all collapse toward the center here. So what I want to do is use individual origin. And in fact, I've got individual origin here already. It's usually, or the default is at median point. And since I was doing these one at a time, we really couldn't tell the difference between median point and individual origins. But with individual origins, what you can do is you can hit E and S, and they will scale out individually at the same time. So that's what I want, just a little bit on either one of them. And maybe I'll bring this one out just a hair more like this. And then we need to begin connecting these up. So what we can do is select edges like maybe this one, these two here, and these two, and press Control E and bridge edge loops here. And then maybe we could select this edge and then hit the F key and just expand these out like this. So let's select this, 1, 2, 3 like this. And can we do another one here? Yeah, let's select this one and go like that. That's not bad there. Now, what we can do is take this point and this point, and we could just expand this out in the Z-axis. So SZ. And, oh, we're not on median point. We need to come in here and change to median point. With individual origins, each one of those points was trying to scale out on its own, and that isn't going to work. So let's press SZ here now and extend that out so it just kind of goes straight out like that. And then we could maybe select this point and this point, and let's try this, SZ, and bring this one out just a little bit like that. Just so it's got kind of a clean shape all the way around like that. And then we need to take this edge back here, and we need to extrude it back. Let's do that. Let's press EX and push this back. And let's take it back to about the frame here, right about here. See how that works. All right, we've got the basic shape now. In the next video, what let's do is add a subdivision surface modifier and add edge loops to hold the edges. And then we'll also want to create this little area up here with the screws holding the cover on. So that's coming up next.